and welcome to our main card, folks. It's gonna be a fun night of fights. We got a lot of possible bangers lined up for you. And joining us on commentary for the main card is the ever so hillbilly Bobbathan Diesel.
Howdy.
And tonight is going to be an action-packed night. We have some great fights. The prelims definitely showed up.
Yeah, man, those prelims were wild. Like, the main card has big boots to fill now following those. I mean, we had 8 fights on the prelims between our featured preliminary bout, Kane versus or Stone Cold versus Kelvin. So many crazy back and forth fights. Think of that Ben Walker Julian Krause fight and that the Paddy Baker Ben Walker fight and the Julian versus Jose fight. Like, those fights were crazy, man. So main card certainly has some big boots to fill, but we got champ versus champ tonight. So I have high expectations.
You're
Yeah, we have
correct.
two titans clashing at the top of this card. And at the bottom of this card, we have Dylan Audrey coming off of his win to face Dominic Lopov to get in their trilogy fight. Following that is the rematch between John Cage and Dennis Hindo Malley. And after that, we got Eric Young facing Aldo Moffat, trying to secure who's going to be moving up in the Xbox division going forward. Then we got our ever so wonderful Flying Orca Inc. member Chip facing Debo Albu. And then we have our co-main event, Austin McGranigan facing Robbie Knuckles, who's been on an undefeated streak, coming in to take that title for himself. And then, like we were talking about, right there at the top, the two kings of the PlayStation division, heavy champ Dogu Altunay facing light champ Charles Brunson.
That's a super interesting fight, man. Honestly, we've seen Dogu beat the best of the best in the heavy division, and really not look like he's ever been in too much trouble, other than Dennis giving him some problems in their fight. But Dogu still looked like he always was in control of the pacing and the direction the fight was going in. So this is definitely going to be Dogu's toughest fight to date, and let the action begin, I suppose. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
That we will. And now, we'll get on to the first fight between Dominic Lopov and Dylan Audrey.
Rolling into our main card, our first fight here, we have a trilogy match between Dominic Lopov and our boy Dylan Audrey, who's actually coming in as a late replacement and is making his return back to the main card after a bit of a layoff here. Gentlemen, I think that this one has some potential to be a banger. So what are your thoughts and predictions on this one?
I gotta stick with my Flying Orca member Dylan Audrey on this fight. I mean, normally people fighting in 2 fights in one night would be tired, but he beat this man earlier in the prelims in about 60 seconds? He's fresh as can be.
Beautiful crank kick.
Ooh,
And the nice duck.
Beautiful duck.
Dylan has just such great boxing here. And you can just tell his experience with that 1-2 head kick. He knows immediately to duck that.
So Dylan, coming off of such a quick and dominant prelim fight, were you kind of riding high on some confidence and feeling good coming into this fight? Like, what was your mindset rolling into this trilogy?
Look, I mean, I definitely felt good after beating Justin. That was a massive win for me, especially after losing to Justin the first time we fought. So to get that loss back was great. But man, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting, and I think I got it in a really tough fight against Dominic. Already he's rocked me with the crane kick. Last time we fought, he beat me. That was last time I was on the main card. He knocked me out. So I by no means was I going into this one overconfident. I know I have my work cut out for me already.
It's definitely a good mindset to have. You don't ever want to come into a fight being overly confident, because you can get a little bit too confident and get knocked out, So it's good that you came in here on your toes.
And both of these men have been trading leg kicks back and forth.
Yeah, Dom catches me with a lot of leg kicks actually early in this round, and I definitely could have done a much better job at checking him. Normally my leg kick defense would be a bit more on point, but he timed them well. What can I say?
Man, he's just trying to take that knee away from you, man. It
He's
does
really
damage.
letting that crane kick go a lot. It's only landed once, I think, so far.
Even
Yeah,
when it
he
lands on the
switched-
block, though, I mean, it does do pretty solid damage.
Yeah, it can
Yeah.
still do some nice bleed through damage, but those big strikes like that, you really got to be careful throwing those, or you're gonna gas yourself out pretty quickly.
Especially if they miss, right?
Oh yeah,
So
especially
far, I
or
don't
somebody
think he's
slips,
missed
you
on
can be in a lot of trouble. Somebody can slip counter you, and you'll be in a lot of trouble.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Lopov's first fight since he switched to a kickboxing build. He used to be
think
a
it is.
wrestler before this.
Yeah, I believe our last fight, I was the kickboxer and he was the balanced calf, and now we've both switched. I've switched to boxer, he switched to kickboxer, so definitely this fight seems like we're trying to keep it standing.
That crane kick again.
It's interesting how your places just kind of reversed over time there.
Yeah.
And just from the observations shown so far, it's been really back and forth, and you can't really tell who the definitive winner is, other than with that singular rock.
Yeah, I think outside of a rock from both guys, this has been a pretty evenly contested round so far.
Definitely.
might
It's
end up
very
going
back
to
and
just-
forth.
It might end up going to just whoever threw more, whoever connected more. Because, yeah, other than that, it's dead even.
I've noticed something that's that got my attention a little bit is that Dominic is eating up your lead leg there pretty bad, Dylan.
My lead leg's in trouble, man. He's landed in the double digits of leg kicks now, I think. You know, I'm trying to whenever someone lands a leg kick on you, I like to kind of keep a tally in my head.
Oh, beautiful combo.
I like to keep a tally in my head
Oof.
and always try and return. Nice rock.
Nice job there, not continuing to throw that combo, risking gassing and getting clipped. Oh, another
kick.
crane
Crane
kick.
kick, man.
Goodness gracious.
He certainly
And another
relies on
one.
that crane kick a lot.
He's really looking for that big shot. You can see that. He just
He likes
continues
to
to
put
pour
that
these
out.
leg kicks on. And another one.
My leg's so badly chewed up now.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's swollen. It's red all over. I mean, man.
Whew, though you are putting a clinic on his head.
Now, despite Dominic having some really high body health, I've noticed that the stamina difference here is already pretty big.
Maybe some of those whiffs on the crane kicks.
Oh, nice pull.
Beautiful uppercut.
And I believe that just clutched the round for Dylan.
Yeah, I definitely have to give that one to him after the two knockdowns.
What a round though. I mean, like
Oh, yeah.
I think I probably did clinch that one, but Jesus Christ, man, that was competitive. Like Dom was so relentless with the leg kicks there. I mean, look at my leg health. I think it's like permanently flashing now. Pretty much.
Dominic's
Yeah.
definitely not out of
Anytime
this
he
fight at all.
connects to it.
I mean, and Dominic knows I'm not too comfortable out of southpaw.
Ooh.
So me switching isn't going to be ideal here.
Whew,
There we go.
check.
Check.
It's eating away at his left leg, but
Now, Dylan, at about this stage in the fight, after possibly realizing that your leg was compromised, were you did you shift your focus more towards just trying to get him out of there before you'd have to worry about possibly changing stances or anything, you know?
I think from the get-go, I'm trying to get him out of there, man. That's my goal from the start of this fight. I didn't really have too much of a game plan going into this one because sometimes you can't really overthink it too much. But from the start of this fight, I'm just thinking I want to knock him out as quickly as possible. But definitely when I noticed my leg health was beat up, I was trying to think, okay, I need to discourage him from throwing that leg kick, and I need to check the next couple.
Ooh, and a beautiful slip on that.
Another check rock.
And I believe Dylan is making these adjustments right now.
he's keeping up his pressure boxing, which is really, it's been working for him so far.
It seems to me like Dominic is just letting that leg kick fly after every time. him and Dylan reset.
And Dominic can't be trading here. His head health is flashing. His leg is now flashing.
Yeah, this leg kick checks are starting to come back and bite him a little bit.
They've evened up the leg health, to be honest.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just to speak to when somebody's in this situation, you might want to start slowly just decreasing your volume on the leg kicks there and going up high a bit more because you've already conditioned towards the legs.
You also, beautiful pull counter. Yeah, you also don't want to get greedy with the leg kicks, you know. Do you see that? Oh my goodness.
Head kick.
Big head kick, and he was trying to finish him.
Beautiful reversal.
Dom gets a nice reversal.
Yeah. And now we know that Lopov is a very strong wrestler. But it'll be interesting to see him wrestle with the kickboxer build now, considering the stats are very different.
And he doesn't want to wrestle.
Yeah, I remember thinking that was an interesting choice. I mean, I just had, I think, back-to-back knockdowns on the feet. You know, I would have thought he would have maybe kind of just stayed on top and let himself to recover a bit. But respect for wanting to bang it out.
Pouring it on him. Oh my goodness.
And great for Dylan to just wait there for Dominic to duck. And this looks like it might be it. Surviving by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I was trying to say before, Dylan got 3 knockdowns in the span of 10 seconds. You know, the leg kicks, they can kind of come back and bite you if, you know, some people see that their opponent has really low leg health. And even though, oh my goodness.
Jab knockout. Let's go.
Wow.
Dude.
Beautiful.
That's hype. Is that
Dylan
flying
Audrey.
over Boston, baby?
Dylan Audrey comes in from a short notice bout, KOing his first opponent on the preliminaries within 60 seconds, to then come back and win the trio within not even 2 rounds.
It's got hands, man.
This just goes to show the pedigree of Dylan Audrey.
That was a tough fight
Wow.
all the same, though. I mean, Dom had me sweating, you know, multiple times, whether it was the crane kick, whether it was a couple well-timed straights down the pipe when I was trying to get into the pocket, and those leg kicks. You know, that was definitely. I remember thinking in the moment that was a close fight. You know, he had me on my toes, and he brought out. I'd like to think, you know, the best of my game.
And I believe you were on the best of your game there, especially after that first round when all those adjustments were made. You pretty much evened up the score there with the leg health, just by checking a few of those kicks that were haphazardly thrown. And I believe that started to spell the end. Once Dominic's leg health started going down, he stopped worrying so much about his head, and I believe that's where you were able to get in all that damage and finish out the show.
Boys, if we don't mind, I'm gonna make a little call out here now. You know, I tend not to do a lot of talking. You know, I keep my opinions to myself and just kind of do my grind and enjoy my staff responsibilities probably more than anything. But I've been knocking around the ICF a long time now, and I'm yet to ever make it towards a title shot. You know, I went through a bit of a tough patch there. I took back-to-back losses against great guys in Dom and Cerrone, and I lost to Justin a while back as well. So I've gotten those losses back. I'm on a 3-fight winning streak. I've beaten 2, I beat the number 1 contender, and I think the number 3. I want that title shot, man. I got a lot of time for Dogu. I got a lot of respect for Dogu, and yeah, I think I've earned it.
Respect the double champ, the cross promotion champ in Dylan Audrey, has belts in EKB, UGL, and soon to be ICF as well.
Well, I mean, I'm not that overconfident. You know, Dogu is the GOAT, man. Like, he's beating everybody and he stomps everybody. I like to think I can give him a close fight, but I'm not going to go out here and pretend like I'm, you know, the best of the best when I've got, you know, like more than double Dogu's losses, you know. But hey, I want the shot. Win or lose, I would like to just say that I fought for the ICF title because I'm yet to. So I'd like to get that fight, and I'd like to just give it my best chance and see what happens.
And just to speak to that, you could be one of Dogu's biggest challenges that we have seen so far to date. Dogu has been an amazing champion, although he does have that one loss in his ICF record. That one loss came from Stone Cold's Flash KO. And I believe if there's anyone who has the power in his hands to KO Dogu, again within the same fashion, it would be Dylan Aldrey. Though, to move on to our next bout, between John Cage and Denise O'Malley.
Coming into our second fight of the evening on the main card, we have a rematch between my fellow commissioner, John Cage, and Denise O'Malley, looking to bounce back after his title loss to Dogu. Dylan, give me some of your thoughts on this fight.
This one's very interesting, man. I mean, we saw in their first fight, Dennis kind of stomped John. And John is no slouch, man. John is as game as they come. So Dennis going out and stomping John like that, that was a crazy performance. So I think if John wants to win this one, I think he needs to implement some of his grappling. John has very underrated grappling, and we haven't really seen Dennis tested too much on the ground. I mean, the Dogu fight went to the ground a little bit. Dogu seemed very dominant there, but it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. As I say that, John gets a takedown.
Yeah, I think John is one of those guys whose record, isn't really indicative of his skill because, pretty much all his losses were either guys that have the belt or have been contending for pretty much their entire time that they've been in the league. So he's definitely not a slouch or somebody that you want to sleep on.
I think John has 2, maybe even 3 losses to Dogu. So yeah, he's definitely lost to the best of the best.
And we can see.
You can't underestimate John. When you underestimate John, he locks you in an armbar and you tap out.
Oh, beautiful kick. What the hell?
Drops him.
This fight is going crazy immediately.
Kelvin, man, I know you like that spin jitsu, and there's a whole lot of that's going on right now. I'm getting kind of excited.
Dude, spin jitsu is the best form there is.
I know,
Live by the spin and die by the spin.
You got to spin to win, baby.
Exactly.
As Dylan was saying, John is looking insane here, doing things. Wow!
Pulling guard into a flying.
I don't think I've seen this one before. He cancels it.
Couldn't quite get it.
He's on top now.
Good denial.
John may have put himself into a bad position. But
Hey,
still,
look,
that was insane.
If I'm John, I'm going for style points. You just bagged them all, buddy. But
he's already gotten a fair bit of them.
He's on his back.
Kimura attempt, okay.
Trying to set up a Kimura.
Dennis has early lead here.
Dennis has good submission defense, but that just goes to show the kinds of wrestlers he's dealt with.
Well, you can't panic when you're down there, man. If you pull a me in my last fight, you're going to be in a bad spot.
And you can
John
tell
is going for these subs, man.
Yeah, he's very active off his back.
He's shooting for him. I'd like to see Dennis stand back up here.
Yeah, that's where Dennis really shines. He picks guys apart based on their rhythm. He interrupts it, and he gets these spinning elbows and flying knees in the middle of your combos.
Well, he's shown that he has solid submission defense, but, you still don't want to be down here with a guy like John.
John is grappling is looking so good, man. I mean, he's so active off his back. He's denying.
He canceled
so many of Dennis's transitions.
And before we had seen Dennis getting the best of him on the feet, although that doesn't seem to be the case this fight.
Yeah, this fight seems to be very evenly contested on the feet so far, with John actually edging it with a big head kick.
Oh my goodness!
Trademark Dennis. Head kick knockdown.
Getting it down to the ground, going for the finish.
And he stands up. He's going for style points, Dylan. They're shooting for the stars, man.
Out on John Cage.
I think Dennis is getting in his groove, fellas.
Once he
Dennis
finds
knows he could be down around here. He's trying to win this one back.
He's bumping it up a notch, man.
He's loading up on that leg kick. That's it. That was his key to victory in their last fight. He's thinking maybe John hasn't fixed that hole in his game plan yet.
Another elbow.
This 12-6 to the spin is working out so well for him.
Kevin, man, all this spin jitsu's making me nauseous. I'm gonna have to go sit down.
Hey, man. It is not for the faint of gut. You have to be able to hold your food in.
Oh, beautiful counter.
Nasty hook. Shooting in
And
for
a
the
beautiful
takedown.
takedown.
Good
That
timing.
secures the round for sure.
Dude, John's coming in here looking to win, man.
Oh,
This
look,
is the best John
bringing
Cage
it to him.
I've seen. I mean, he's coming out and he's
Oh,
going to set
no.
up a leg lock.
Oh, no.
oh, going in for the heel hook. He's trying to tear
This doesn't
apart
look good for Dennis.
Dennis's ACL.
Dennis just
Okay.
needs to stay calm here.
Yeah, he kind of fumbled it at the start, but he's reined it back in. He's looking nice here.
So far,
Dirty.
John has the lead, but Dennis is starting to get the rhythm and get out of there.
You can see that John is trying to predict too much.
Onto the arm though. You just gotta get that arm around the
I
leg.
think Dennis might get out of this one.
It's looking like he's going to get out.
15 left in the round.
Close, though. It's close, man. It's
It's
close.
super
Oh.
close. Oh,
He gets out into
Let's
top.
go.
10 seconds to go.
Whew. And this is why Dennis was seemingly afraid to go on the ground with John. Moments like that.
But this
John's
shouldn't be a massive
jiu-jitsu
surprise
is
to us.
incredible.
John's last fight against Kelvin. Kelvin was looking very good on the feet in the first round. Rocked John a couple times.
ooh.
John gets the fight to the ground, locks up an armbar, and it's done before the end of the first. Like, John's ground is super underrated.
I don't know who
Yeah,
to call that round for, man. That was insanity.
It really
it was
is.
real close. I think John, because not only did he have the same amount of knockdowns, but he also had the rock and the
Oh.
submission.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty active on the ground, especially with the submission attempts. And he almost had that leg lock locked in.
Yeah, that was
so
close. Close, man. Oh, there we go. Loading up to the knee.
Catches him when he's trying to throw the elbow. Dude, John is on it this fight. Beautiful
Sprawling out.
sprawl.
Nice takedown defense.
Those sprawls are looking great.
Dennis is starting to get the rhythm.
And if I'm Dennis there, you know, I'm sure he's very cautious of. I mean, yeah, maybe the smart decision is to get up, but maybe rip a couple looks to the body and then get up. You know, keep the score going on your punch count on John.
Oh.
What the hell?
And we see one of the many glitches of EA Sports
I love you,
UFC
EA.
4.
Thank you for this beautiful
You know,
gaming
the fighting
experience.
was so
The powers that
exciting.
be would have them restart the round.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh my knee to Dennis.
John is catching Dennis with his own trademark moves.
it's like some Inception, man. I think he's in
Leg
Dennis's
kick
head, man.
blasted out.
It's freaking him out.
And the craziest part about this is John is a jiu-jitsu vanguard fighter.
Yeah, like this is insane. But Dennis is beating up that leg a little bit now, and he's landing the front
Oh,
kick
nice
too.
front kick. Yeah, he's definitely chewing John's leg up. I didn't take notice of that until just now.
Beautiful takedown.
Yeah, there was one strategy that has served us opponents of John Cage well and has been attacking that lead leg of his.
And it's such a smart decision from John there too. You know,
Beautiful to know.
he's starting to take some damage on the feet. Take him down. You know, put the fight back in your favor.
I wonder if
Dennis
he's
is
going to
going
backpack him
get
here.
up.
No.
A
Nice.
slam.
Dennis gets back up to his feet again.
gonna do it
Will he able
again.
to escape the clinch.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Beautiful.
They go blasting that front kick. Going to that outside leg. Inside leg kick.
And John's not afraid to switch in between stances either.
You're
Oh,
right.
Definitely good.
Beautiful spin kick.
Although John's character's striking.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
Back fist.
Dude, the spin jitsu's on point tonight, man.
It really is. This
Oh
fight
my
is
goodness.
And
crazy.
gods are pleased.
This fight's insane. I mean, John is almost beating Dennis at his own game essentially.
And I feel it's because Dennis is trying to put him against that fence. John is just backing up just a little.
Another
goodness.
great
Another
takedown. And another
Wow.
thing to keep in mind here is Dennis is probably also very cautious, and the threat of the takedown has definitely got to be on his mind here, right? So that could be possibly a reason for why he's taking, you know, an unusual amount of damage on the feet.
Yeah, the takedown threat from John Cage now with his Jiu-Jitsu Vanguard calf is so omnipresent that it really throws the opponent off their rhythm because they're wondering what's he gonna do next.
Into mount.
Great transition. John denies that.
He is just asserting his.
Another submission attempt. It is. What is this, number 6?
Oh, watch that arm.
Yeah, Dennis has to be careful at the start of these submission attempts. He's getting a little too wild. His bar's getting pretty big.
I think John needs to calm down a little bit with his offense too here. If he slows it down a little bit, he might actually find Dennis running back into his submission counter himself.
He does
Dennis
have
running
a stamina advantage.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty active trying to catch Dennis in the sub mini games.
He's setting up a
Might do him so
twister.
well to-
Oh, is he gonna get a twister?
Ooh, this one might be in there. But Dennis showing
Dangerous.
I don't
his
think we've ever seen a
Twister
submission.
gets landed. I've seen one. And that was in the RFC.
Twisters are hard to get, man.
They are.
He's getting deep. He's getting
This
the
is
arm
close.
around the back
This
of
is
his head.
close.
Oh my goodness.
He's got the hooks in. He's got to pull that arm
He's
around.
trying to chase Dennis too much.
he
Ah.
lets it go.
Oh, that was a deep twister, man.
I feel like we need to propose a challenge now at this point, Kelvin.
What? What?
Kind of like I did in RFC, first person to hit a twister. At that time was $5, but if I see somebody hit it in the ICF, I can cough up 15 bucks.
Head kick.
Another rock.
Now,
Wow.
how much did you say that there, Bobby?
15 cool, crisp American dollars for the first ICF competitor to hit a twister in an official bout.
Oh man, we're gonna hold you to your
Oh.
word.
Nice spin from Dennis.
I'm gonna be training my jujitsu, man.
Whew. Say about the
Well,
battle,
I'll extend my virtual hand so we can shake your opponent.
Gentlemen, what are we thinking? Round number 2?
I think it goes to John.
Yeah, I have to agree with Mike there.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Dennis could be down 2 here. I think he might need a finish.
He does. He needs something big here.
He's definitely still in this, you know. I don't ever want to write a guy like Dennis
Ooh.
off, but
Oh.
John,
Oh!
my goodness,
Oh!
And Dennis knows.
John's in trouble.
He can finish here.
There, okay.
Smart move.
He's out of
from
trouble.
John.
Now, you know, like I was saying, I don't ever want to write a guy like Dennis off, but John, man, he's just like, he's showing out tonight. He came in here
Dennis-
ready.
If there's a guy
He came in
who
with
could
game
pull it back into third and get the finish, it is Dennis. I mean, his
Oh.
unorthodox gets a reversal there.
Great
Dennis
reversal.
has said before that he never wants to go to decision. He doesn't care if he wins by decision. He views that as a loss.
Well, I
Oh,
don't think
the
any
leg kicks are coming
self-respecting
off there.
man is okay with a decision win.
Chewing up these legs.
He needs to get John to get back
Oh, beautiful uppercut.
into his natural
And they're
stance.
just standing here and trading.
Yeah, I think Dennis definitely knows he needs a finish.
Yeah, he's definitely putting his foot on the gas a little bit more. You can kind of see that.
Oof,
Wow.
with the takedown.
Well-timed takedowns.
John just has great takedowns. You can see they've just been landing over and over.
He's killing it with the timing with his TDs tonight for sure. Some heavy damage here. Do either of you or any of you guys know if Jiu-Jitsu Vanguard has the crucifix position?
I imagine it does.
Yeah, I would believe it does.
'Cause I would have thought that John would have tried to get Dennis in that position by now.
Maybe he doesn't view it as necessary.
Maybe not.
He also does seem to be looking every time he's on the ground for a big submission. He seems to
Yeah.
want that one big thing that will get Dennis out of there. But
Oh my
it's for the
god.
elbow again.
John's in trouble.
Oh, beautiful pull.
No, he's not.
Oh,
the back.
ducks the spin.
Ducking the elbow with the takedown attempt. Oh,
Dennis,
Beautiful
swinging,
denial.
man.
Dennis knows he's down. He needs this finish.
those are close rounds, but I don't see any judge scoring it for him.
I feel like at this point, the fight, John kind of needs to, you know, I'm sure he'd like to put Dennis out, but at this point, I feel like you kind of have to take your foot off the gas a little bit. Because,
Ooh.
oh, never mind.
Oh, and Dennis
Oh.
goes down.
John is pouring it on him.
I'm surprised that front kick didn't hit him there. But you know, hey, that's how it works.
Oh my god, another flying knee.
He's him right back.
And I don't imagine Dennis is too happy about getting hit twice with his trademark knee.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and he's dropped.
Oh,
John's in
we're
trouble.
gonna get a Jimmy Prohaska-esque finish
He
here.
stands up.
Ooh,
Oh my
sprawls
goodness.
out.
Another sprawl.
I think it was a
He's
smart
back up.
idea to stand up there because he was getting his hooks blocked on the ground.
Yeah,
Kelvin,
and John's
man.
head health had recovered quite nicely, actually.
This fight's making me queasy. I can't keep up.
Dennis has got a
Hey,
minute
man.
and 40 to work with.
Oh,
Another
gets him
takedown. John has just been
John's
letting
in
these
the
things
street.
go all night, and he's been landing constantly.
He's fighting so smart.
but he gets
Oh.
that every time.
You know, like I was touching on earlier, it'd probably be good for John to kind of coast a little bit here.
Kimura.
And this is good because either way, it'll either run down the clock or he's gonna get a win. And either way, that benefits John at this point.
Yeah, you made a good point. You know, you're up in the fight. You can just let the submission minigame eat up as much of the clock as you can.
Now we have Dennis ending up on top.
And
He's
you can
just trying to
see
get
Minute left.
immediately.
something incredibly intelligent from John there. Whenever Dennis gets that side control position, he immediately transitions so that Dennis doesn't get off of him.
Oh, that would have been dangerous.
Oh,
Oh, stuffs it. John's got to be careful here, man.
Yeah. He does need to be careful. Dennis lets him back up.
Stands up. I think he's going for a last minute big shot here.
Bit of lag. Oh, and the ref's
Little
coming
bit
in
of-
to
oh.
separate them.
What in the hell? He got tired of the grappling, man. He's a hater.
yeah, he stood him up.
Yeah, I feel like John or Dennis, excuse me, is going to be looking for just like one last big shot here.
going on with
That's really his
Dennis?
only
Yeah, what
hope.
is with his stamina right here? It is.
Dennis is way too hurt here, it seems.
Yeah, he's compromised.
It is. He's got a broken bone or something.
How did that not do any damage?
Oh,
my god.
Oh, we got 5 seconds. We're gonna get a last second KO. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
to a decision.
John Cage. Wow.
What a performance.
He showed up, dude. I don't know.
I
don't think that was the real John Cage. I think that's the best we've ever seen from him, honestly.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And that was,
I don't know if we
without a doubt,
work any better.
one of his biggest wins of his career.
And he gets
That right
it.
hand
Could have been
is
three, I
nothing.
think that could have been 3 rounds. To be honest, I think he took the third back.
Oh, I might have to agree with you there. Sorry, Denise.
Yeah.
I love you, but wow.
It has been an up and down week for Flying Orca Inc. But we will come back.
And we can't deny the skill of John Cage here. He
John
looks like he
Cage.
might be ready for title contention.
Oh man, he's right back in the picture. You know,
Totally.
you show
Exactly.
up
After that,
and you
he
put
did.
a whooping on a perennial contender like that, and a guy just coming off of a title fight.
A guy who beat
he's
his ass in
definitely-
the first fight as well.
Yeah, you know, he's definitely thrusted himself back into that title picture. So
What an
this is a
adventure.
huge win for John.
100%. And you know, maybe an off night for Dennis. You know, Dennis is he's been at the top of the division. You know, gave Dogu one of his toughest tests. It looked like he just fell victim to a great game plan from John there. You know, I'm still excited and eager to see who's next for Dennis.
Dennis, and I can speak from experience with sparring him, but all those big moves, he tends to land them like he did in that fight. And at times it looks like it might be over for his opponent. But that speaks to the resilience of John Cage here. To come back from all of those rocks.
His recovery was on, you know, just as a showcase of his ability to take big shots and survive. So, big props to John. You know, arguably the biggest win of his career. And you know, I guess my question is, what's next for Dennis?
Well, with all these up-and-comers in the PlayStation divisions, I believe that Dennis will definitely have some competition. But with that said, we'll now get on to our next fight between Eric Young and Aldo Moffat. And getting into this fight with these two contenders, I can personally speak to my fight against Moffat. I actually sparred him, and he did extremely well against me. He's very good, but it seems where he lacks most is when he's about to be submitted. That's the biggest vulnerability I see in Moffat. Now, to speak to Eric Young, would one of you boys have something to say about Eric Young's fighting style here?
I think I brought it up in the past. Him and I fought in the RFC many moons ago, but he's definitely very striking heavy, and just from what we've seen of him on the main card, with his fights with Luke, he's as game as they come. He's not scared to march you down and let his hands fly. So this one definitely looks like it can be an exciting one.
I think both these guys have very unique styles, which is what's so intriguing about it. Moffat fights so different to everyone else. Beautiful
Nice
reversal from Eric. And Eric is the same. They both have their own very unique styles when it comes to grappling and striking. And I think it just makes for a very interesting fight.
He gets up. Now, I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan, I think we spoke about this when we all called the Luke and Eric fight, but I think it was Eric that he had a really bad problem whiffing his kicks, tossing them out of range and getting clipped like immediately afterwards.
And
yeah, I think he did miss on some kicks in that fight. But as well, what could cause him problems in this fight is Moffat throws a lot of singular strikes.
Mhm.
He'll tap you from a different angle and then from another angle entirely, and that can be very it can force you to reset over and over again. And I think Moffat's actually finding a lot of success with that right now.
And to speak to Moffat's skill, that's always been something he's been really good at. He just backs up, waits for you to come in, and then throws either that singular leg kick or that straight, something with just enough power to stop you in your tracks.
Oh, and you gotta love seeing a man try to pound another man's face through the mat. Yeah, Eric Young is no laughing matter on the ground. We've seen that a couple of times in his fights, that he's been able to really get up at will. But here, Moffat man is just asserting his dominance over him.
You set it up, Kelvin, and then you ruined it. Come on, man.
And you can smell the dominance being exhumed here. Moffat is just trying to get into these big ground and pound positions, and he's still throwing those singular one-off strikes. Just watch him.
You can smell the dominance. Tell me, Mike, what does dominance smell like? Can you explain that?
It's very musty and a little bit old-looking, just like Moffat's calf.
Kind of like a sweaty gym bag, maybe?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think you would know about that, Bobby.
I would.
Nice left hook from Eric.
So far, from what I've seen, it seems to me like Eric is winning the striking exchanges. The margin may not be wide, but I definitely have to give it to him here. But so far, Aldo has been winning the grappling exchanges. He's worked his ground game well.
I love Moffat's fakes. I think they're causing Eric some problems. He's faking a lot, and it's kind of stopping. Nice head kick, man.
There he is, a whiff kick, man. Yeah, Aldo's
I think
definitely
right now Eric's
working.
starting to second guess himself a little bit with all of Moffat's fakes and these singular strikes he's throwing.
But he's also just working the level changes really well.
Yeah,
He'll
exactly,
throw a
man.
couple low to get Eric blocking low, and then he just lets the head kick fire off.
I mean, look how unorthodox he is. His main strike is that straight down the pipe, and then he'll turn around and head kick you and chop your leg and shoot a takedown. It's very unorthodox.
He's definitely a really weird matchup.
And if you notice, what Moffat likes to do is he does combos, but not in the traditional way. Big flying knee.
Like to see Eric work the pocket a bit more. That's where he really shines, when he's inside, close, up in your face, working the body, ripping his elbows to your face. I mean, that's where he shines, when he's picking guys apart.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record here again, but Moffat is great at disrupting his opponent's rhythm, and not allowing them to really get flowing and get going.
Oh, nice!
And Eric is finding success with those knees.
Yeah, Eric's dangerous with the knees and elbows, man. We've seen that, whether it's in his fights with Luke Libre or even the fight against Jay Prince. He's dangerous with those knees and elbows.
He's just showing off his athleticism, man. He's like Dominic Ray is.
But Eric needs to start checking some of those low kicks, man. His left leg is that health is kind of low.
Another takedown to end the round.
Moffat's really timing his takedowns incredibly well in this fight.
So,
Great for both of them young.
the end of the round coming around. How are you guys scoring this one so far?
I might actually give that to Moffat, like just for how clean it was. But Eric, I think, would have persuaded the judges.
I think Eric had the biggest moment in the round, but I agree with Mike. I think Moffat.
Because look at the health disparity here.
Yeah, I think Moffat took the round.
Bit of an odd choice to go for a takedown there.
Young could have taken it if they score his rocks heavier. But
We've seen Young be a little bit of a slow starter at times as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does now in the second and maybe even third round.
Yeah, he's kind of like Cowboy Cerrone, you know. He's just actually skilled. So maybe give him another couple minutes, and we'll see him get into his groove. I can't help it, man. It hurts to see
Eric
it.
does seem to analyze his opponents in that first round.
It's kind of reminding me of the Justin and Dogu fight. I don't remember if you gentlemen remember that, but he was kind of slow on it up until about round 4 or 5, and then just like was a completely different fighter for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the fight.
That's where he almost won the title from Dogu in that fight. I remember. He locked him in a crucifix for a while.
Back sitting. It's a bad position to be in.
Let's him up.
Set him up. Yeah.
Just when you think you know what Moffat's going to do, he does something different.
Oh, here we go. It's rocking those elbows out a bit.
Ooh. That could have been
It's
bad.
called that spinning back kick, man.
And a big slam.
Oh, beautiful suplex. Dude, you love to see men just throwing guys around the octagon.
Yeah, we're all aware that you're a big fan of that there, Kelvin.
Hey, man, you know, good wrestler is a good wrestler.
Whatever floats your boat, Bubba.
And Moffat does seem to have great wrestling. Eric seems like he might have the better jiu-jitsu, and especially with these sweeps.
Yeah, just as you say it, I'm inclined
Speaking
to
of
agree, Mike.
sweeps,
I think Eric's got a couple tricks up his sleeve, but so far, Moffat seems to be controlling the fight.
yeah, Eric's definitely not a slouch on the ground. He showed that to me when we fought. A couple times he took me down. It seems
Moffat's
to me
just
like
chipping away at him, man. He's
Eric is-
breaking him down.
Eric seems hesitant to just walk him down and put the pressure on him, which is kind of confusing to me because he's had a lot of success with that in the past.
I think honestly he's just having trouble getting into the pocket and really inflicting damage on Moffat. Moffat's doing a great
Another
job keeping him
takedown.
at range, getting him to the mat when things look hairy. And
Nice
these
and all.
denials are great. But I think Eric could also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but I think Eric could also be a little bit smarter with how he's trying to get back to his feet here.
You're right. Something interesting there, though. When his character goes for the get-up, he actually turns Moffat towards the cage. I feel like someone as experienced as Eric could have used that to his advantage to try and get up from that position.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh.
Throwing that stuff out of range again, man. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, when he whiffs on these big strikes, Moffat just makes him pay for it.
Well, it was a bit of a persistent issue in his fight with Luke, if I remember correctly. He just
Yeah, I
kept
mean,
throwing
he
all
got
these kicks
blocked
out of
by it.
range, and you get tagged when you're vulnerable like that. You know, it can make it an early night for you.
Good judo from Moffat right there, too.
Aldo's definitely he's putting his foot on the gas a little bit more.
He's trying to get that finish right here.
Well, I
Oh,
think
man,
at this
dude,
point in the
look at
fight,
that
he
leg
may
bar.
sense that he's in the lead here. You know, he's probably got Eric figured out in his head, so he might just be wanting to get it over with.
You know, Eric's finally switched
Another whiff.
to a right lead leg.
This could also be another one of those situations where styles make fights. There's no doubt that Eric Young is a top contender and has wins over great guys, but it just kind of seems like Moffat hasn't figured out here.
Now, Eric is definitely no slouch, but Aldo's just such a weird dude to fight that, like, I honestly feel like he could provide, like, he can just be a stylistic nightmare for pretty much anybody on Xbox.
Totally,
Yeah.
man. I 100% agree.
And his losses always come in very weird ways, like against Robbie Knuckles, for example. Like, it was just that same great submission that he got Bobby with. Pretty much his signature submission from that top mount position.
Yeah, Robbie loves that triangle armbar, seemingly always in the first round as well. I mean, he's pretty prolific with it.
Yeah, him and I had to have some words backstage after that one. Tough times, man.
Man,
That-
you saw
guys-
Eric Young keeping his block low at the end of that round.
Are we
he's worried
talking
about that
potential?
leg.
Sorry, dude.
No, I was just
we talking-
commenting about that leg, man. I mean, just
Yeah,
look at
it's
it.
chewed up. But potential 10-8 round in round number 2?
I would say
Maybe.
so.
Possible.
I could see it. Especially towards the end there. Aldo was just letting his hands loose, man, and landing pretty clean.
Not 10-8 in the traditional sense of someone getting their ass beat, but kind of just totally controlling the fight, it seems.
Oh, he had control of that round, for sure.
Oh, beautiful kick.
Yeah, you know,
He's
I don't
keeping
mean
pressure
to repeat myself over and over, but you know, Eric, I feel like he's just one of those guys. You know, you can't count him out either. You know, I feel like at this point in the fight, you could say he's down 2 rounds to none. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
one pull elbow can change the outcome of a fight. And
yeah,
dangerous elbows.
he's definitely dangerous, but it just seems like it's a pretty big mountain for him to climb right now if he
Right,
wants to win
I
this
agree.
one. Beautiful slip.
And Eric should be launching those long combos, because if you notice, Moffat really likes to take his time and back up and try to analyze you while you're striking.
Gotta switch stances, man. That leg is compromised completely.
Oh, that's speed
He
up.
tried that earlier in the round, but it didn't work out that well. He just got picked apart again. Seems like he thinks the change isn't super worth it.
Well, it's something that, you know, I'll harp on it some more. Dylan and I have talked about it in the past, but some guys, you know, once their leg is compromised, they're pretty much done.
Yeah, Eric doesn't
he needs
seem
to
very
switch
willing to
stances
switch
now.
stance here.
Oh, my
head
goodness.
kick.
Playing with his food a bit there. I think
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
getting confident.
Could have jumped on for the finish though. Well, Eric was badly hurt.
Yeah, this is definitely looking bad for Eric.
Chances there. Well, let's go.
Loves them slams
Oh, we know Kelvin does too, man.
and lets him up. Disrespect.
You can tell he's feeling it now. Oh,
No,
Eric
Eric
with a
doesn't
take
back
now.
him.
Oh man, this fight's
That's a-
making me
that's a-
happy with all
that's a
these
moral
slams.
And Eric has great takedowns here.
You gotta think it
Kelvin.
might just be too little too late in the wrestling department.
But
Yeah.
I think Mike, I think you might have hit the nail on the head when you said that Eric needs to let some long combos go when he's pressuring Moffat. He's playing Moffat's game too much, man. If there's an adjustment he could have made, you know, hindsight is always 20/20, but
Oh,
try and pressure
Stop.
Moffat and rip more combos on him. Don't allow him to kind of play that game of single strikes, backing up, and timing. You know, get a bit wild with him and see how he reacts.
Aldo, I just feel like has so much head health. Oh,
Ooh.
leg lock attempt.
Oh,
Moffat's stamina's kind of low.
oh no, here's his unorthodox style of grappling.
Giving up the sub. No, I think he wants this
James.
one.
He gained it.
Yeah, he's out.
Eric's offense is looking a tad shaky here.
And I believe Moffat does that to actually gain position whenever he finishes the submission out.
Maybe. Or might just be a bit of some mind games, you know? Some false sense of security kind of deal. Beautiful to know.
Surprised to see Young trying to take this to the ground.
Oh, Those
You
leg
know, he
kicks
did
are
it
hard.
against me. It's definitely a bit odd to see it this late in the fight, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to write him off, but man, he's got a big task ahead of him if he wants to win this fight with a minute left.
Oh, he's rocked to the body.
Oh, he's in trouble.
And the leg.
Ooh.
The level changes, man. Aldo's good with it.
Oh.
And the leg kick again. He needs his twitch stances.
Moffat could get a TKO win on those leg kicks.
He can.
Oh, and that knee.
Already.
Yeah, the knee keeps hitting that leg.
It's twice now.
I think Eric's
You like to
getting
see it.
desperate
Eric's
here.
really pressuring him here. He's trying to get.
What in the world?
Yeah, I don't know how he's getting his leg tagged from that.
Oh my goodness.
Another leg knockdown.
Finally a check.
Yeah, he's barely checked in here.
Elbow.
One Eric flying knee knockout.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
And it goes
that could
to
have been a last
decision.
second KO.
another decision fight.
But both of these decisions were wars.
Yeah, good thing
Yeah,
they've been
that's the kind
exciting.
of-
I'm not trying to fall asleep at the commentary booth, man. It'd be a bad look for my career. That was definitely a dominant performance from Aldo there.
Yeah, he just asserted his will.
He just showed how
Split
tough of
decision.
tough and how much of a weird matchup he is for anybody.
He is, and do you boys think that when the time comes for this Grand Prix, or as well as a title shot for Aldo, do you boys think he will be up to that task?
I think he's a bit of a dark horse there, you know.
I think so.
I honestly myself haven't seen enough of him to know if he's up there with like the upper echelon of the Xbox guys, but he's legit. You know, I feel like he's not one to be slept on, so I feel like he might surprise us with the upcoming Grand Prix. So I'll definitely have my eyes on him during all of this.
He's definitely not. And if I had to pick a dark horse, it would be him.
I mean, if there was any doubts prior to now, they really should have been put to bed. I mean, he outclassed Eric there, and Eric's a great fighter, man. But it definitely looked like Aldo just kind of had him figured out. The Moffat man, Muffin man, whatever the fuck you want to call him, he had him beat. And I think he could definitely give the top end of the division and possibly even ushering the champ, or whether it's in the final of the Grand Prix in the other division, a run for its money.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And with that said, let's get to our next bout between number one contender Chip and Debo Albu.
Bringing us into our next main event bout, we have my long-lost Romanian Giga Chad cousin, former champion and prolific grappler, Chip, going up against a bit of a new up-and-comer in Debo Albu. From what I've seen and heard, fellas, Chip obviously is a really good wrestler, and I've heard the same about Debo, so I feel like this is going to be a good one to watch when it comes to a clash of styles.
I think Debo Albo is probably the most exciting prospect in the PlayStation Light division at the moment, man. I mean, his subs are very good.
Personally, I haven't really seen much of him up until this point, but I feel like you got to be doing something right if you're getting a fight with Chip in your third or fourth ICF fight.
His third ICF fight this is.
Whew.
Yeah, facing a former champ who is as dominant as Chip is in your third fight is no small matter.
And he looks to be a very good up-and-comer here. You can see that great takedown.
Chip makes it to full guard.
Well, coming into this one, I feel like, it'll be interesting to see if somebody can out-grapple Chip, because honestly, I feel like the only person that we've seen really do that in any sense is Charles, who, as we know, is arguably the most dominant guy in the entire ICF, besides Dogu.
And Charles, just to speak to this realm of grappling prowess, Charles is one of those guys who's always a step ahead. And just looking at what Debo is doing here, It seems he might be that way as well. Look at the way he's faking. And the way he's just sitting there, waiting for Chip to start a move before he fakes.
Very patient.
Ooh, into side saddle immediately.
Yeah, he knows how he knows this guy is. He knows his ground game, and he knows the strong positions. There again, we see
Into the top mount.
the most prolific grapplers. They're always going to use those
Ooh.
posture ups to get to a better position.
Chip's staying patient here with the sub defense.
Chip is a slippery guy on the ground. He knows how to get out of a sub. You won't catch him unless his stamina is real low.
He's like an eel man dipped in like canola oil. He's hard to hold in one place.
Ooh, yeah. Exactly. You see it there.
Ooh, beautiful reversal.
With a side control action. He stands up. Yeah, to me, I feel like the biggest, turning point of this fight may be Debo striking, because as we've seen in the past, Chip is not a slouch on the feet. Obviously, he's grappling heavy, but, he can hold his own on the feet with pretty much anybody.
He's
And
great on
he
the
uses
feet.
that to set up his grappling in a lot of different ways.
And
Chip
something...
has been working on his stand-up.
Yeah,
a
his
lot.
stand-up has gotten scary. He hits these flying knees recently with extreme accuracy.
Beautiful straight after the whiff.
That's something I'd like to see out of Chip here, is a bigger strike sometime. He's got the head health of Debo pretty low so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say that he plays it safe, but Chip has never really been one to go for like the big flashy, high damage kind of strikes,
Not while in a match, it seems. He likes to
if
go
I
with them
see-
more in a spar.
If I see this man get a flying knee knockout, I might stroke out and just die in my gaming chair. So I got my fingers crossed for some exciting high flying action from my fellow Flying Orca Inc. brother.
Romanian legionnaire. Chip.
It's the Romanian blood, man. We're beasts. It's always fun to watch them come out here and just.
You know who also is built different? Apparently, Debo Albu. Because, man, he is just controlling Chip on the ground right here.
He's definitely having a lot of success in the grappling exchanges. His sub offense is looking really good here, but Chip is staying patient.
He's not
That's
paying.
that experience shining through, man. Chip's been doing this for a
Ooh.
while,
Very good sub offense, and his bars
It's
climbing
very
up.
close, yeah.
catching up.
He gets up him.
Oh.
Okay,
He's gonna
this,
get it, man.
Oh.
This is it. This is it.
Chip's
is-
in trouble.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Out of nowhere.
Oh,
my
into the
goodness.
gap.
Escaping that. He goes out.
oh.
No, he's good.
Yeah, it looked like Chip was gonna get out of that pretty comfortably. Then out of nowhere, the
Oh.
ball just fills up, and he
Ladies
keeps
and
it
gentlemen,
in.
Absolutely
man.
crazy.
up and comer.
Wow, and
Yeah,
that
one
looked like a
thing,
very. It looked like a very, competitive fight. I mean, it didn't really seem like either guy was taking a massive edge or getting a big lead, but I guess it speaks to the sub offense and the skills of Debo on the ground.
What?
Oh.
He's the second person I think to submit Chip outside of Charles again.
And with
Yep.
such a flashy submission such as that.
Yeah.
That's
you saw
impressive.
him bring the knee over and just choke Chip out. And that
Mhm.
is not something that is easily done.
No, it is not.
It always hurts to see my fellow Romanian lose like that, but man, this Debo kid's good. I think he was right outside the door as a PlayStation contender, and he just kicked that some bitch open with this win. So I'm really excited to see what's next for him and what kind of run he can go on towards the
I'd
belt.
be excited to see him roll with Charles Brunson. 'Cause
That
Brunson
would be
is,
an interesting
like I said,
fight.
It
The only
would.
person who's ever tapped out Chip.
You're right.
Yeah, it'd be
That
a
fight would be absolutely amazing, and I'm very excited to see that for when it does come. Though, now to transition on to the co-main event of the evening, the Xbox Championship fight between Oisin McGranagan and Robbie Knuckles.
Next up on this banger of a card, we have our co-main event for the Xbox Championship. We got a bout between Oisin, the Pride of Ireland, McGranagan, versus a Robbie Knuckles that is coming off of a first round submission win over me in his main card debut. So,
How
fellas,
about the arena choice here? This doesn't look like the WFA.
Just a bit of confusion on the way, man. They, their bus got rerouted.
They decided to
Last
fight in the
minute.
parking lot outside of the ICF venue.
True.
Yeah, I heard
you
the
guys
security
better-
guards were being a
too
bit
late.
security guards were being a bit wishy-washy, so they couldn't get in on time. They just let them fight it out in the
Ooh.
parking lot.
Takedown from Robbie.
Beautiful slam.
Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like coming into this one,
Ooh, Robbie.
Oh, he's in top mount as well. Robbie loved his position.
In
well,
this big position for him.
Yeah.
he's already shown it now, but I feel like coming into this.
Oh, what?
Rocks
Oh,
him.
what?
Robbie looking insane early on
Strong
here.
start.
Pounding his face with those fists, man. Jesus.
I mean, what a resurgence in his career for Robbie Knuckles. He had a lot of trouble in some other leagues. Starts off in the ICF here, goes on an absolute tear, 4-0, beats a former champ. And now in his title shot against Oshie McGranagan, he starts off great.
And we're seeing all these grappling up-and-comers recently. Just
Yeah.
killing it. And Dale, Kelvin, what do you think about all of these up-and-coming grapplers who are just ruining these
man.
amazing strikers on the ground?
Man, I think that's really exciting for the future of matchups and like overall skill level in the league. Because now you don't just have to
Ooh.
worry about standing up. Because before, you didn't really have to worry about going to the ground. Now the takedown threat from any fighter is increased, and you got to start working the game plan around it.
Ooh,
I think we can start getting
Ooh.
more interesting.
Marcin's got to be careful here, man.
this
He's
isn't
getting caught.
looking good for Oshin early.
I think it might be the takedown threat that's probably getting to him a little bit. Marcin's not a slouch on the ground, but striking is his bread and butter. Oh, beautiful uppercut.
He shows why he's the champion.
Yeah, I think coming into this, Robbie's game plan definitely has to be just get this fight to the ground and keep it there as long as possible. Because Oshin is not a guy that you want to hang with on the feet at all. Oh,
Ooh.
beautiful spin kick.
Oshin isn't one to be hit by those side kicks, if you notice.
Yeah, his
He's
lateral
incredibly
movement is
at
very good.
managing his distance.
Another takedown.
Slam the
from
big
Robbie.
Irish bastard. He is.
Oshin just staying measured here and getting these denials where they matter.
Nice fake.
Yeah, that's something that I like to see from him because, in the past, he's had a couple instances where he might get a little frustrated or just impatient, and he can get himself caught in some pretty rough spots, so it's good to see him playing it patient here, taking it
Yeah.
slow.
Oshin's bottom game is still very good, man. He was very wise to that potential back take from Robbie there, and wasn't biting on any of those fakes then in full guard and gets to get up.
Beautiful uppercut.
He's laying the pressure
nice
on
to know.
Knuckles on the feet.
And something Robbie is noticing is that Oshin is throwing mainly round strikes. You see him start to try and pull towards that fence.
Man, Knuckles' timing on these takedowns is just immaculate.
For
Like, he
sure,
just
man. I mean, he's
knows
racked
when
up
to
some control time this round.
Good enough from Oshin.
I believe it might have given Robbie this round, all these takedowns along with that rock on the feet.
Yeah, Oshin needs to get a knockdown or something to really equalize this.
He's got to be careful in those clinch situations with Robbie because Robbie's letting those knees fly. And Oshin is just taking a lot of damage unnecessarily.
There's a nice combo in the pocket. And another
Beautiful
sits him
drop.
down.
Go. Beautiful lead uppercut.
Oshin is definitely having a lot of success in the pocket here. I think that's what he needs to stick to.
When he gets in the pocket and just starts his pressure boxing, that's where he controls everything in this fight.
Robbie's one of those guys that you don't really want to stay at range with, like in kicking range, because he'll let all that spinning stuff fly and catch you with something.
And he has a very long character.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Holy god.
that was a nasty.
Oh!
And that's it.
Oh, wow.
He's done it again.
Oisin McGranagan rallies in the first round to defend his Xbox championship.
Ooh.
A little bit disrespectful there, possibly.
Car
With the,
bombs as fists. Dude,
you know what he hit him with? That was the bus driver uppercut.
You can tell.
Yeah,
Bus
Oh
driver
my god!
uppercut,
He
And it
snapped
just-
his head back. He killed
Look at
him.
him. He was out on his feet. He was pretty much out.
Robbie
Look,
couldn't do
right here,
anything
bus
after
driver.
that.
Oh.
He's dead. Dead.
Yeah, look at him. He's out. He's already out. Those last
Some
two
big,
punches-
beefy
They
Irish
weren't even
hands, man.
necessary.
He's got some stupid power. You have to be careful.
That's some power, man. That's
The pride of the Emerald Isle right there. That's
the
exactly
dude.
Wow. That was absolutely insane. What a fight.
Oshin really showed his championship resolve there. I mean, didn't have the ideal start to the fight. Got rocked, got taken down a couple times, controlled a little bit on the ground, showed good ability to get up though as well, and started to find his success on the feet, and then just bodied him. But respect to Robbie, he came in and tried to impose his game plan, and it was going well until it wasn't.
And both of those men just let it all go. And Robbie actually had great success on the feet there at the beginning. But Oshin showing that championship mentality, I feel he got a little frustrated and said, I'm not going to let a guy like this try and clown me.
Absolutely.
But with that said, that was an amazing fight. And that is definitely one of the contenders for knockout or fight of the night. And so far, boys, now that we're almost to this main event, what would you say has been the biggest performance on this card so far?
Between the main card and prelims, I think the prelims have laid claim to the fight of the night. I think we had a couple fights on those prelims that were just absolute barn burners, and they've owned that. But knockout of the night, I mean, that was a peach of an uppercut there. We've seen fantastic subs from Debu and I mean some sub attempts from John, but yeah, submission of the night could very easily go to him. That was a lovely sub, but I think the prelims might have outclassed the main card a little bit just for pure firefights.
I don't know, man. That Dennis and John fight was pretty insane. I'm like that.
I was about to say,
I missed the
that might-
prelims sadly, but my vote from what I've seen definitely is Cage and Hendo.
The big difference between the prelims and the main card thus far has just been really the amount of finishes, because the prelims were basically entirely finishes and just crazy finishes at that. But we've had a
Absolutely.
couple of decisions, but the decisions we've had tonight on our main card have been just absolute wars. I mean, I'm right there with you, Bobby. I think my fight of the night might have to be Dennis versus John, just because, man, I had no idea how that fight was going to go. John had such a dominant performance, but the Dennis had these moments where he shined and got spinning elbow knockdowns. Dang, dude.
It was so close. And for submission of the night, I think we'd have to give that to Dibbo Albu.
Yeah, that was a great sub. But Dale, I think we might have to take a page from UFC 262's book and give out some 75k bonuses after this card. I mean, we've had so many bonus-worthy performances from the first fight on the prelims to our co-main event this evening.
I think I'm right there with you, man. You're exactly correct there. We've had so many fights and moments that are worth a performance bonus. It's just insane.
It really is. All of these fights, from the prelims all the way up to this main event, have been extremely just mind-bending wars. And I don't think we've seen any fight here that wasn't action-packed. I know we saw a few dominations on the early prelims, but these wars that we've been seeing in the main card just could be taking years off these fighters' lives. Though now, we do have a special message before the main event.
Before we start this main card, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Raycon. I actually have a pair of Raycons, and I love them. Ray J promised me quality, and I got quality. I usually use them when I'm at the gym, or I'm at home playing some UFC 4, and you know what? The sound quality is just as amazing as all the other top brands, and they're half the price. I mean, the ones I use are the everyday E25s. And so good. I mean, they're the best ones yet. I got 6 hours of playtime. I got seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, available in multiple colors. The compact design helps to get rid of background noise, and the microphone quality is crisp. It's perfect. And you know what? I like the fact that you can click either earbud with your fingers to pause your music. Makes it super convenient if you need to stop for any reason. So go to buyraycon.com/YouTuber That is buyraycon.com/YouTuber name for 50% off your order. The link is in the description. And let's get rolling into our main event of the evening.
And rolling into our main event, this is the single biggest fight the ICF has ever put on. I mean, we have two dominant champions on the PlayStation side of things. Our heavy champ, Dogu Altunay, the 12-1 Turkish delight that he is, tearing across his division, beating everyone in his path. And then on the other side, we have the PlayStation Light Division champion, Charles Brunson, who is currently undefeated, who stuffed Chip's undefeated streak, who stuffed Hussein, another undefeated guy. I mean, he has made a name for himself of just beating these seemingly unbeatable dudes.
And Doe might be his biggest test to date. This is going to be such a tough fight for Brunson, but Brunson does have the skills to maybe neutralize Doe on the ground.
I feel like I've got butterflies watching this fight.
I think we all do, man. This is without a doubt the most hyped I've ever been for a fight. You know, a true Clash of Titans. You've got the two most dominant guys that the ICF has ever seen, and after a long wait, we finally get to see them face off. So,
Dogu's back
And they're facing off for that illustrious first ever champ title, even if it might be a little bit short-lived or just a little bit cosmetic. They will be the one and the only champ that
well,
ICF.
on top of that, man, it's just like a pure battle of just like stylistic differences. You have a pure striker versus pretty much a pure wrestler. So I think it's going to be really interesting to watch this one.
You're correct. And just to note, this is the first main event in the ICF where betting has been introduced, which raises the stakes even more for a lot of people.
Yeah, shout out to Dennis and Dogu as well, who are odds makers over in the ICF. They've been a big help in getting the betting set up so that we can actually use the money in server to bet on fights. So
yeah, I think a lot of people might understand the woes of gambling when it doesn't go your way. A bit of a weird glitch there.
And for those of you wondering, Dogu is opening up at a -200 favorite, and Charles is the +150 underdog in this matchup.
Whew.
Honestly, man, I feel like this fight, looking at this fight as the odds makers, must be tough.
Top
A lot of heavy ground and pound.
That's the second time we've seen that tonight.
Heavy ground and pound! Oh my god!
Oh, that was so close!
Charles nearly puts him out in the same way he did Chip.
I'm kind of confused about what Dogu was doing right there, honestly.
He got caught with some nice ground and pound, but
He just ate so many punches and ground and pound. A lot of them seem kind of unnecessary.
Oof.
Now he's just swinging at him again from up top.
Charles is doing an insane amount of damage on the ground so far.
And he's not giving Dogu's stamina really much of a chance to recover here. Very active.
Dogu was able to get up.
Good. This is where he wants to keep it. This is where he knows he has the advantage over Charles.
And look at Charles willing to go into the opposite stance as Dogu.
Yeah, Dogu likes to enter with that lead leg kick a lot of times, or that rear leg kick, I think. But Charles is very prolific out of both stances, so if his leg ends up chewed up, I've no doubt he can fight out of both. Nice slip hook.
Another
nice
slip
counter.
hook.
Dogu's some dirty
Dogu
boxing.
is, oh my god.
Oh. Just blasting those uppercuts to his chin, man.
If you're a Charles Brunson fan, this is a great start to the first round. And there's really these guys are not afraid of each other. I mean, Charles Brunson's coming out here and he's taken the fight to arguably the greatest of all time in the ICF.
Ooh.
Yeah, he wants to take that title from Dogu himself. He wants it under his name.
Oh, he's showing up ready, man. You can see that.
Look at those
beautiful
takedowns.
Oh, beautiful takedown. No.
Ooh, great takedown defense.
Dogu with some nice damage in the clinch.
Charles' body's starting to get worked a little bit now.
Dogu has really good, just one-off strikes.
While it seems, obviously Charles has done a lot of damage in ground and pound. It looks to me like their head health. Oh, beautiful rock.
Knocks him with the straight left.
Blasted with the knee to the body. Oh, this is what you like to see.
Charles' body health is getting ripped.
Yeah, Dogu's definitely implementing the body work really well so far.
And that's one of his favorite combos, that jab into the turning sidekick.
With guys that are heavy wrestlers like Brunson, it's good if you can get their body damaged and their stamina down from body work. Because that
Nice
gives you
leg
an
kick
advantage when they take it down.
Exciting first round.
Very exciting, and it's hard to tell exactly who might have taken it, just because both men really had something that they were going for.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to sort of split that round in half, sort of say. I feel like Charles definitely had the edge at the start, but Dogu kind of came into his own towards the end.
And his
I can
takedown
see Ivan
defense.
Another beautiful
quite sharp
takedown.
now.
Denial.
Look at how intelligent Dogu is there.
Oh, he's got to be careful. He's eating those knees and punches in the clinch like crazy.
Yeah, both of these guys are showing an ability to do a lot of damage in the clinch, whether it's with dirty boxing or knees.
Yeah, that's
Charles
something
going back
Dogu
up
definitely needs
there.
to keep an eye out for. Charles is gunning for that clinch game.
Charles has an overhand like Luke Libre.
There he goes again.
And he's
That's a
starting.
good
Charles is
point,
starting
Mike.
to sharpen up to that spin to the body.
Oh, goodness.
And it goes down, that's where Brunson's happy.
And you do not want to be in Charles Brunson's top mount.
Now, he is as deadly as they come with ground and pound.
Pulls into half guard. Charles is just on it with his ground and pound today, dude.
He wants to put Dogu out because he knows that Dogu, the longer he goes in the fight, the better he does.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful sweep. Now, it'll be kind of interesting to see what Dogu can do on the top because, okay, never mind. But as we know, he's not a slouch on the ground. But when you're facing a guy, a grappler that's as high a level as Charles, it can be tough to show that, I feel like.
Oh, you gotta love that combo of the lead roundhouse to the body and then the straight.
Well, I feel like Charles is, he's landing with more volume.
Oh,
goodness.
nice!
Dogu's definitely landing the bigger and harder shots, I feel like.
I feel like with a little more pressure, Dogu could have done more there as well.
Oh, beautiful trip.
That was a really nice trip.
And I can't think of someone
Dogu with
else
that full guard
yeah,
momentum transition.
who has judo on the level of Charles Brunson.
I don't think there is anybody.
I agree, Dale. Charles judo is top of the food chain.
Oh,
Beautiful
he
hooks.
made that perfect read right there with that lead hook.
Dogu's applying a lot of pressure now.
He's coming into his own, man. You can see he's starting to get a bit of a feel for Charles. Oh,
I'm loving the little taunts from each man in this fight.
Dogu's got to be careful.
Well,
Charles kind of
close enough
gassing
for
now a
him.
little bit.
Flying Orca knee.
Oh!
Are we about to see Dogu enter the Matrix, fellas?
You might.
You might.
Feeling the
I
momentum.
don't want to jinx it, but man, the momentum shift has been pretty big so far.
If I'm Charles, I'm trying to get a takedown as soon as possible.
Oh, for sure, he's losing these striking exchanges pretty badly. My goodness,
Nice
that body
kick to the
work
body.
is so nice.
The more Dogu works that body, the wider that stamina difference is getting.
I think Dogu, or Charles, excuse me, is definitely wised up to Dogu's body kicks a little bit.
There's the takedown.
Oh, goodness.
Smart decision.
Nice takedown from Charles.
Brunson perfectly times those. Especially that ankle pick.
Yeah, he's for sure one of the best with the takedown timing. You know, I feel like he's kind of showed that to us with what his last 4 or 5 fights. He just started them off with a takedown.
You're right, and I feel like a lot of that ground and pound might have gassed Charles a little bit here.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until you pointed it out, but there's definitely a bit of a stamina gap between the two fighters.
And look at the body health.
And the
as
health.
well. Yeah.
Charles is lagging behind now. Dogu's definitely picking it up a little bit here in round 2.
Charles had a very strong first round, but maybe similar to Chandler versus Oliveira last night, might have blown a lot of his energy in that first round.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that myself, so I get it. But a fight of this magnitude, man, you gotta rein it in and play it patient. You know, you can't afford to just completely empty your tank in the first round in a 5-round fight.
But man, his ability to take a man down and wrestle him just serves him well, even with lower stamina.
Yeah, his ground game has definitely been working so far this fight, but you know, Dogu's just doing so much damage on the feet.
Oh,
Beautiful reversal.
Beautiful backside reversal.
And Dogu ends the round on top. I think we could
I
do one
think
of
we
these
have to
here,
give that
fellas.
one to Dogu for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Dogu
Look at
takes that round.
That beautiful knee. I always love seeing those, man.
That flying knee from the clinch is just, oh man, it's satisfying when it hits right.
An immediate takedown attempt.
Brunson tried.
Tripped up a little bit on his feet there.
Oh,
Yeah,
straight.
good.
God. Nice
Dogu's
3-piece
working the
combo.
jab, very nice.
Brunson's got to try moving a little bit more side to side. A lot of Do's attacks are flying straight down the middle here.
Oh, beautiful knockdown.
Oh,
And another one.
This could be it,
Oh,
man.
incredible. He stands up.
That's
Dogu
the problem when
decision.
you're
He
facing,
wants to keep it where
when you're
he's
facing
winning.
Dogu. He throws so many straight strikes that you think, all right, I need to start using my lateral movement. But that's when that slip hook or that rear body kick come into play, and the leg kick.
Yeah, touching on what you said, Kelvin, you know, typically I don't like to see guys stand up when they get a drop and their opponent has low health. But, you know, if you're Dogu, you don't want to risk that right now.
Yeah, sometimes it's a
Oh,
loss you
rolling
have to
thunder
take.
kick. What the hell? Dogu is
Oh,
on
let's
point
go.
with these takedowns, man. Or the takedown denials, excuse me.
Charles is gassing, man.
Oh,
Body rock. Wow.
Charles
The greatest of all time.
into the shadow realm.
The greatest of all time, without a doubt.
Dogu Altunay. Man, 13-1. Hall of Famer. Let's go.
Double champ. The first
Double-
ever.
Double champ does what
Champ.
the fuck he wants, man. And Dogu
Wow.
also
Let's
made
watch
this
this
so
again here.
the greatest
Wow.
from the PlayStation side of things.
The
He
crane
entered
kick.
the Matrix, dude.
Oh,
I told you, man.
And that's
look at
that
the
is
way
that
the
is a perfect
sweat flies
example
off of him.
of how you use that crane kick. He didn't throw it once the entire fight, not like some other guys who kind of, you know, overuse it a little bit and then it becomes telegraphed. And he whips it out just when it's perfectly timed and gets the knockout with it, man. Beautiful. Dale, what are your thoughts on that performance?
Oh man, I mean that really just goes to show why Dogu is the greatest of all time in the ICF. I mean, I have never seen another person do exactly what you were just talking about and wait for the perfect time to load up on crane kicks. I mean, we saw it in the first fight of this card with Dominic Lopov versus yourself. He really relied on those big strikes catching you in that crane kick. He threw it a lot. But Dogu's the opposite of that. And that really just paid off, because I guarantee you Brunson forgot about that kick.
I think now at this point there's really no discussion about who the greatest is. You know, Hall of Famer, 13-1, and that one in his record. You know, we love you, Kane, but that one might be called a little fluky. But you know, 13-1, he's up in the double digits for title fights, title defenses. You know, double champ. There's no discussion there, man. He's the greatest that the ICF has ever seen.
He absolutely is. He's such a tough competitor, and he always brings that championship mindset. And he is one of those few shining examples of how a perfect striker can outdo someone with such a great grappling pedigree as Brunson.
Well, I think the biggest question, at least to me, you know, Charles taking his first loss after, you know, such a long reigning title run. What would be next for him? You know, like, I feel like that's something that'll be on his mind for a while.
Well, look, he has the lightweight belt to go back to. You know, he hasn't lost that belt. He was fighting for Dogu's championship, heavy championship belt. So he still has the light division to go back to now. You know, he's got a perennial top contender in Debo Aldo to look out for now in the lightweight division. So he's got his work cut out for him. But you know, it's not all losses. You know, that was probably the toughest fight Doe's ever been in. You know, sure, Dennis rocked him a couple times in their fight, but Doe was still very much in control there. Whereas in this fight, there was moments where Charles had all the momentum, like that first round. So you know, there's a lot of positives to still take from this as Charles. You know, he's a dominant champion at lightweight. He went and gave the heavy champ and the greatest of all time in the ICF a serious run for his money. So, you know, Charles Brunson, as far as I'm concerned, his stock is still very high.
Extremely high, and this has been such a great card. I just cannot believe what we've seen from these men. Such perfectly timed takedowns, significant strikes, and this magnificent finish with the crane kick.
Yeah, that's got to be knockout of the night. I mean,
it absolutely.
Yeah,
has.
I mean,
That or Oshin's,
had
man.
so many of those, man. And you know what? If you want to keep seeing these crazy fights and these crazy knockouts of the night, you subscribe to this channel right here to see our weekly cards. You follow us on Twitter to get card announcements and some updates on, you know, sometimes fights get pulled. You know, things happen in the fight business. But you make sure to give us a follow there, put on notifications here so you know when we upload a card. And if you think you can take on our boys, if you think you can beat the greatest of all time, Dogu Altunay, come on down to our Discord and we'll get you a fight.
Just a quick word before we close it out. I want to give a big congrats to our two champions and, you know, to all our guys on the prelims and just the newcomers on the main card. I'm proud of everybody, especially my fellow commentating brothers. And, you know, it feels good to be back. So, again, congrats to everybody. And I hope to see you all back next week.
And just a little announcement for, you know, we've talked about it a bit during the card, but for all our Xbox competitors, we have officially announced now that there is a second, or rather the Xbox division will be split down the middle so that there's two divisions now, the heavy division and the light division, similar to what we do on the PlayStation side of things. And we will be hosting a double Grand Prix next week where we'll be showcasing with the commentated semifinals and finals of both divisions. Oisin McGranagan, depending on which division he picks, will get an automatic bye to the final of his division as he is the champion. But the other division will end up with two top contenders fighting for the vacant belt. And we've got this is if you're an Xbox competitor in the ICF, the future looks bright.
And this sounds like a great future to be heading into for the next card in the Internet Championship Fighting League. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this possible, and we'll all see you next week.